Emergencies. All drivers sooner or later will find themselves in an emergency situation. As careful as you are, there are situations that could cause you a problem. If you are prepared, you may be able to prevent a serious outcome. Work in construction zones. When driving in construction zones or work zones, you must obey all traffic signs and markings unless you see a road worker or flagger redirecting traffic. You should never drive so fast or in such a manner that you endanger the lives of road workers or flaggers. Remember, construction zones or new pavement may be extra slippery after wet weather due to oil residue. There are many ways to direct drivers safely through construction maintenance or utility work zones. These include orange construction signs, barricades, drums, orange cones, flashing arrow signs, portable changeable message signs, temporary traffic signals, and flaggers. Flaggers use gestures to tell you to slow down, stop, or which direction to travel. Rotational beacons on top of highway workers' vehicles are used to inform you of obstructions in or near the roadway. You should slow down because workers may be working nearby or setting up signs, cones, or other traffic control devices. Construction or work zones may have temporary pavement markers instead of permanent pavement markers. The color of the temporary markers will be the same color as the permanent pavement markers. White lines or temporary markers separate lanes going in the same direction. Yellow lines or temporary markers separate lanes going in the opposite direction. Fines on all citations, such as speeding, issued in construction zones or work zones are doubled. When you approach construction zones or road workers, slow down and be prepared to stop. Road workers are killed or injured every year by drivers who do not slow down while driving through a construction zone. If you fail to yield right-of-way to a worker in a construction or work zone, you could be cited by law enforcement. Special speed limits. Around children. Always drive more carefully near schools, playgrounds, and parks because children may suddenly dart into the street. Near a school, the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, while children are outside or crossing the street. No matter what the speed limit sign states, you should never drive faster than 25 miles per hour when the school grounds has no fence and children are outside. Sometimes lower speed limit signs are placed near schools, so look for them. Watch for bicycles and pedestrians near schools. Look for school safety patrols or school crossing guards and obey their directions. Look for stopped school buses. Be prepared for children crossing the street. Some school buses flash yellow lights when the bus is stopped and prepared to let children leave the bus. This is a warning for you to prepare to stop. Flashing red lights mean you must stop from either direction until the children are safely across the street and the lights have stopped flashing. It is the responsibility of the driver transporting children to ensure that each child is properly protected. A child restraint is a child safety seat with a safe harness which is fastened by vehicle seat belts per the manufacturer's instructions. According to the National Safety Council, never place an infant in a rear-facing child safety seat in the front seat of a vehicle with a passenger side airbag. Children should ride buckled up in the back seat. This eliminates the possibility of airbag-related deaths or injuries, and studies show children are up to 29% safer in the back seat. Animals and horses. Wild and domestic animals may move unpredictably toward or across the travel path of an approaching motor vehicle. When an animal is seen in the road or on the road shoulder, you should slow down and, if necessary, yield the right-of-way. Be especially careful in rural areas at night. Often an animal's eyes shining in the headlight beams will be seen first. Use reasonable care when approaching a person who is riding or leading an animal upon the roadway or shoulder of the road. Horses have poor side vision and are easily frightened by loud noises or sudden movements. Wild or tame animals are unpredictable along roads. Slow down and move away from animals as you pass them. Deer can be especially dangerous at night when they may freeze in the beam of your headlights. Watch for signs warning of deer crossings and be prepared to brake. Report accidents that result in the death of large game animals such as deer or bear to the local law enforcement agency. Use caution when you approach or pass someone who is riding, leading, or herding livestock on the highway. Reduce your speed and pass cautiously. Allow a reasonable distance between your vehicle and the animal. These precautions will help avoid frightening the animal or causing a collision with the animal or handler. Unless absolutely necessary, do not use your horn or make other loud, sudden noises near the animal. Stop your vehicle if the person on horseback or leading an animal raises a hand, unless stopping would cause an accident. At least slow down. A raised hand means the animal is frightened. You may need to turn off your motor until the animal is under control. Even if the person with the animal has not signaled you with a raised hand, take these same precautions when it is obvious the animal is frightened. The person may need both hands to control the animal and may not be able to signal you. If you ride, drive, or lead an animal on the road, you must follow the same rules of the road as motorists, except those which, by their nature, cannot apply.